guys, Pixie here and welcome back to my channel. Today we are back for another speed building video for the Google Replicate series that I have on my channel, which I wasn't able to update for a long time. Hopefully you guys are still interested in this series. So yeah, in this part or this video for the Google Replicate Challenge or series on my channel, we are replicating, as you guys might have seen already on my gallery, would be the Disney World Resort oh my gosh, I can't talk. The Cinderella Castle from the Disney World Resort or Park in, I'm not really sure where. I think it's in Florida. I've never been there, but it's just it just amazes me when I see the build and everything. It's like one of my dreams to go there, but I'm not really sure when that will happen. But yeah, this build was made for a challenge in a group on Facebook, which is the Sims 4 group. I am a part of that, and there is a challenge wherein you try your best to make something Disney related. It can either be related to Pixar and stuff like that. So I decided to, since I already have a replicate challenge or series on my channel, I decided to make the Disney World Cinderella Castle just because it's a very beautiful castle, and it just amazes me on how big it is and how a lot of people really do go and visit this castle. One of the main thing that I really do love with the castle is the suite, because they just really do, with the videos that I watched online and articles that I've read, they just really do make it special when you are staying there, because they never really expose anything about the suite or the location or just about anything. I think the only thing that they show online would be the pictures of the suite. So it's like, it's a very special suite wherein I think you can only get to stay there if there's a special event, like if you are having your honeymoon or your wedding there. I'm not really sure when they let people stay in there, but yeah, I really did enjoy also building this massive build, this humongous build, just because I loved adding all of the details and stuff like that. But there are some parts wherein you might get irritated with the redundancy that that you might experience while watching it. It's just because it is a castle. There are a lot of turrets and there are a lot of details that has to be repeated at specific sides of the build. But I hope you guys will still enjoy watching it. I hope you guys are enjoying, if you guys already have it in your game, I hope you guys are enjoying playing with it. Although it is not really a castle specifically for Sims to live in, it is more of a castle as a park or as a generic lot. That is why, if some of you guys have already installed the game or the castle to your game, you will notice that I placed I think you guys will see it later on. I placed the I'm not sure how you say it. I think it's the pirate ship for the kids to play with. I placed it there just because if you guys want to place it as a park, you can. So I added the ship there as an added feature to show that it is above water or in the middle of a lake or something like that, as to how it is in real life. But yeah, I clipped off a lot of footage from this build just because, again, there are a lot of redundancies, and at some point I tried to adjust the length of the castle, just because at first I thought that it was too big, but then whilst I was furnishing it and adding the stairs, I was thinking that I shouldn't have done that, like reducing the length of the build, because at the point where I was adding um the stairs, there wasn't really space for the stairs anywhere, so it was a bit hard at placing in the stairs and stuff like that. But yet it was still enjoyable and stuff like that. But the most fun part that I did for this build was this one. As you can see, I am designing the turrets, or yeah, the turrets for this build, the towers, and it was just so fun in building these parts, because I tried my best to replicate how the turrets looked in real life with the game restrictions for the build mode in the game. I mean, we can't really have the option to have, what was that in Sims 3? Elevations, floor elevations on or something, the cheat. We can't really have that in the game right now. So I was trying my best to have the height of the walls and the way the turrets looked with the roofing and stuff like that. So what I did was this one. So since we can't really raise up walls, I mean, like 90 the half walls, can't really do that. So what I did was just use those balcony things with the wall decorations and stuff like that, and just made it as that. And for me, it looked so friggin' good and cool. Like, I never really imagined the turrets to turn out that way, but it did, and it just made me so happy that I was able to replicate at least some parts of the build. This build isn't really as accurate as some of my builds, because I tried my best to make the house above and the the amphitheater and the selfie house as accurate as I can make it, and I was able to do it at some parts of it. But this one isn't really that accurate. One, because there aren't really that many pictures of the inside of the Cinderella Castle, so I just improvised the inside. The outside is kinda similar, but with the restrictions of the floors, the maximum floors that we can use, I wasn't able to make the towers and the specific, or the most accurate roofing, which I'm not really sure if I did my best with the roofing, like for the very top floor. But I hope you guys will still like it, and I hope the guys that have already installed the build to the road are enjoying it. So yeah, let's see. Ooh, I think I'm just adding some more details to the roofs, as I think, oh, it's because I built this castle when I still only had cats and dogs, city living, dine out, and bowling. So I don't really have the decors from Get Together, which I think would have worked so well with this build if I had that stuff back, or not stuff back. Huh? If I had that game pack, no, wrong, that expansion pack with me when I built this. But unfortunately, I didn't have it, so I just improvised with the decors. So yeah, so at this point of the build, I think I will just be adding some details to the main part of the building. So I strayed away from doing the turrets, just because it was a bit of a time consumer, and I didn't really think of I didn't know that when you copy the walls, that wall decors would go with it. So I think at some point I did that. I'm not really sure what part of the video that I did it, but I tried to do it and it worked, and thank God it worked because that just saved up so much time with the build. But yeah, I tried my best to replicate all of the turrets. At some point, some of them didn't really turn up well, like the turrets that had no roofings. Just yeah, those did not turn out well for me. I didn't really like them, but still it looked decent, so I went with it. And yeah, my most favorite turrets out of all of them, out of all the others except for the main turrets, because the two in front, I just love them. The second ones that I enjoyed making were this one and the other one at the back, just because it was a very unique turret, and the way I did it was very different to the others, just because there was the wall restrictions already for, I think this was the highest floor that I could build, and I can't build anymore above it. So that was something that I had to work with. But yeah, I really loved the way it turned out, and I don't know, I just really love using those wall decors. They look very, very nice. And then let's see, what else did I do? I think at those roofs at the bottom, the one that is the wall decors, I deleted those later on just because they didn't really look right. But yeah, I apologize guys if at some parts of this video I sound a bit nasally. It's because I don't know what's wrong with my nose, but every time I try my best to record, my nose starts my nose starts to clog up, and I don't really want to make that as a reason to not record, because I really do enjoy recording. I do enjoy talking to you guys, even though some of you guys aren't really listening. I think I'm not really sure what's happening with YouTube right now, but compared to my audience before, it's not really that many, and I guess I lost some supporters, but I won't make that stop me from recording because I really do enjoy it. But yeah, I'm not really sure what part of the video wherein I start furnishing, but I guess we will just keep on furnishing, or not furnishing, continue on making the structure of the castle. There are a lot of steps that I repeated in this build just because there are a lot of turrets in the castle within the castle. I can't really talk right now for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because of my nasally nose. But yeah, I think I'm not really sure what part it is that I stopped recording for the exterior, but yeah, I hope you guys are still enjoying. I hope you guys are getting some ideas with how I built some of the parts of the castle, because right now, when I have time to browse the gallery and stuff like that, I find a lot of castles, a lot of huge mansions and stuff like that, and I really do like sharing some of my ideas as to how I built my castles and stuff like that. And I hope that in this video you guys can pick up some ideas or tips, or I mean tricks, and yeah, just about anything that can help with improving your builds or adding to your mansion builds and castle builds, or just about anything that it can be used in. So yeah, I think at this point I was trying my best to replicate all of the towers in the build, but as you guys might have already noticed, this tower here, the third one from what I am building right now, is a bit low compared to the tallest tower, which was supposed to be, I think that tower was supposed to be as tall as that first tower that I built, but it had to have a roof, a blue roof, so I sticked with the idea of having it as one of the shortest towers in this build, just because I wanted to keep the blue roof on that tower. So yeah, this part of the build I think changed a lot, just because I didn't really like the shape of it, and this would be the part wherein I tried to adjust the length of the building, just because it is a bit too small with having the details of having the roofs and stuff like that. So yeah, I adjusted a lot of walls in this part of the build. But of course, I didn't really want to include how I did this part or the tedious parts of this build, just because I didn't really want you guys to experience what I experienced with trying my best to adjust everything else. So at this part, as you can see, the walls already have been reduced to the smallest height, and I have already adjusted the wall parts or the length of the build. So yeah, at this part I am starting to decorate the back of the build, just because the back and the front are the only parts of the build that had a lot of pictures. So I was able to, at least at some parts of it, was able to replicate it, and then at some parts I just tried to add some details to it, like the flowers, the flower beds on, or I mean in front of the windows, just because if I were to stick with the original design of the build, this would look so plain in the game. So yeah, at this part you will see me play around with the roofings, trying my best to replicate how the roofs looked in real life. So in my opinion, I was able to replicate it as best as I could, but yeah, it was so hard to do. It was worth it, but it was so hard to do. But yeah, I keep saying but yeah for some reason. Hope you guys won't mind. One of my most favorite details out of all of the wall decors that I did was that one, the wreath on top of the doggy logo from Cats and Dogs, just because it looked so cute, and I don't know, it just looked so cute for me. Oh gosh, this nose is just killing me right now. If you guys can see me right now, I have a ton of tissues on my desk. Well, not right now because I am already throwing it in the garbage, but yeah. At this part, I took a lot of time with decorating the pool part, just because I wanted it to look more of like a lake rather than a pool or a fountain. So I added a lot of not clutter, a lot of rocks, plants, lilies, yeah, just about anything that would make it look more like not a swamp, more like a lake than a pool. So in my opinion, I did well with it, but hopefully you guys are liking how I did it. So yeah, what else? Oh, okay, so at this point we are just adding the other side of the lake of this build. It's a bit redundant and yeah, but I think some of you guys still want to see the process of doing the lakes and stuff like that, just to make it look like a lake again. And yeah, I just really did want to include it in the video just so you guys could see how hard it was to build this castle. And yeah, I think we are almost done with the lake, and now we are finally in the interior of the castle. So at this point, I am just trying to think up of how I will divide the castle to rooms and restrooms and stuff like that, just because right now we don't really have a full picture of what the layout of the castle is. Well, I think there is none because I tried my best to search, but there wasn't really anything. I mean, the photos that I see or the videos that I see were that the castle is a castle that you just walk through, and there are some doors to the right, I think, and to the left, but I think people can't really enter those because those are the entryways or the doors to where I think there is a bathroom. I'm not really sure if there is a bathroom, but it is where you get access to the dining or the reception areas, this master suite and stuff like that, which is not really open to all of the people, I think. I mean, that's what I see from what people post about the castle and stuff like that. But yeah, right now I am just trying to improve. I'm trying to improvise on how I should decorate the hallways and the main parts of the castle, but I think I tried my best and I was able to execute it well. Well, in my opinion, I was able to, just because there are a lot of details to this build that I didn't really know that I was able to do. So it is also a big achievement for me to be able to furnish and decorate such a massive build. I mean, the oh my gosh, I can't really talk with this nasally voice, but I will try my best. With the Flavian Amphitheater Google replicate that I did a long time ago, I think I did that last year, and then I wasn't able to upload consistently, but yeah, with that build, I was just repeating a lot of steps. Like, I copy this side of the build to the other side just to make it look more symmetrical and stuff like that. And there wasn't really anything that I have to focus on decorating except for the basement part, just because the parts that you guys will see above floor level is just just a coliseum, basically, because I did just replicate the coliseum, and when you go there you can't really see anything but the shape of the coliseum. So I guess I was able to capture or replicate all of those except for the basement part, just because at the basement you can't really see anything, and I did want this or that build to be something functional for your Sims to visit and stuff like that, not just to be a building that satisfies my eyes or my goal for that challenge, but I also want your Sims to enjoy it. So I added some, I think, dining area or a museum type at the basement of the Colosseum. So same with this build, I tried my best so that your Sims can not only have this building as a sightseeing building or a place wherein you just go there, take a picture and stuff like that. I wanted this build to be fully functional for your Sims, wherein they can enjoy with their family, with the same goal as the Disney World theme. I wanted this to be a family-friendly house or castle wherein you can dine, you can sit, you can relax. But one thing with this build is, if some of you guys who have this already in their game, I didn't really put a kitchen just because I wanted some of you guys to have the ability to try and furnish this castle. So I left one part of the build empty so that you guys can put the kitchen there. The only thing is the kitchen is on the first floor, the dining area is on the second floor. So hopefully you guys can find a way to connect those two. I think the best way is to reduce a part of the entranceway at the back of the build to add a staircase to the second floor, and then just add a room there. I mean, it doesn't really have to replicate the main castle anymore, because that was my goal. And for you guys to play with this house or this castle, you don't really have to stick with that goal. You can adjust a lot of things in this build. You can remove some stuff. You can bulldoze, not really bulldoze, or I mean delete some parts of the walls on the second floor and the third floor, just so that it can be more functional for your Sims. So yeah, the first floor contains 2 bathrooms, I think the main living area, as you can see right now, an entertainment room, 2 museum type rooms, and then some a full out entrance pathways at the back, because at the back there are a lot of entranceways. So yeah. And then we have on the second floor, as you can see right now, there isn't really anything special with that floor. I think the only thing is the separate room. I can't really remember if I did that as a bathroom or a hobby area. I'm not really sure. The third floor is where the dining area is, and then the fourth floor would be my take of the master suite. So I decided to make the whole last floor as the master suite, just because I don't know, I didn't really have any floor plan to follow, so I just improvised, and for me, I think it worked well. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying how I did it, and hopefully you guys appreciate how long or how tedious this build is. And I hope you guys, I don't know, I really do love hearing feedback from you guys and hearing that you guys are enjoying it and stuff like that. And I mean, don't be afraid if you guys have any suggestions or requests as to what builds I should do next, because I really do love hearing your opinions and your suggestions. And yeah, I don't know, whenever I lack ideas on builds, I just go and tweet about things or read about things on Twitter, or most especially on the Facebook group, just because there are a lot of ideas and a lot of people out there who just gives me inspiration to build a lot more things in the game, especially with this one, because I've never really thought of trying to build something Disney related in the game before trying to join that competition. So I am thankful to Amanda Hall for giving us the opportunity to explore more of the game and explore more of what I am capable of building in the game. So yeah, thank you again. I hope you are enjoying the build. I hope you have the time to watch too, because this is really something that this build wouldn't be possible without that challenge. So yeah. Right now I think I am just finishing up the first floor. There are a lot of parts of this floor that was not fully furnished, just because I wanted you guys to have the ability to adjust some parts, because there are a lot of dead spaces in this build. Most especially with the inside of the turrets, I didn't really want to have I don't know, to take up a lot of time in thinking of how I should furnish those parts of the build, just because if you guys were to watch this in real time and without me cutting out parts oh gosh, you guys would just be so frustrated as to how I tried my best to furnish those insides of the turrets. But yeah, I think this is the last part that I furnished in the first floor. Now we are in the third floor, which is the dining area. In this dining area is just a simple dining area with, I think, four of the dine out. Is it four? Four or six of the dine out chairs, and then this floor is just full of chairs and tables. Just because, again, I tried my best to replicate. I think I found a picture of the reception area, and it was an area which was a bit dark, and then it was just full of seating areas. So that's why on this floor I just filled it with a lot of seating areas. But yeah, oh my gosh, I didn't really expect myself to talk for this long in this build. I mean, talking in a speed build is definitely different from talking in a let's play, because in a let's play you are talking real time, you're watching what you're doing, unlike when you are watching what you did. So sometimes you tend to forget what you want to talk about. That's why some people suggested that I try to write a script. But sometimes when I write a script, I tend to stutter, and I don't know, seeing a script just makes me a bit more nervous in recording. So I do have a script for my intro and outro, and then just some details as to how or what I should discuss in the build. But I don't really write down what I should really say, because if I did write down what I have to say, I think I would stutter a lot in the game. I mean, right now I do stutter a lot, but I guess without seeing a script in front of me just helps me talk freely without really thinking of, oh my gosh, I forgot to talk about this one, or I forgot to talk about that one. Because sometimes if I forget something, I tend to just write it in the description box, or sometimes if I remember it when I record another video, I tend to talk about it in that video. But yeah, I guess we are almost done. In this floor, I didn't really put an effort to furnishing the bathroom, just because I wanted the bathroom to be as simple as possible, and there wasn't really enough room for me to make it as luxurious as possible, unlike the living area in the very first floor. That's why at this point, or this master suite this master suite isn't really that extravagant, but with the furnishings and the way or the layout of the build, I think it still looks extravagant. For me, it does. But anyways, I think I will end my commentary here, just because I forgot to grab water and I'm really thirsty right now. But yeah, I'm not leaving you here just because I'm thirsty. We are almost at the screenshots, and I like ending my commentary a bit early. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, I would really appreciate it if you guys could pinch that like button down below. If you guys have any comments, suggestions, ideas, or opinions, or just about anything that you guys want to share with us here on my channel, don't be afraid to leave a comment down below, because I really do enjoy reading your suggestions, your comments, your ideas about my videos. And yeah, of course, if you guys enjoyed, I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe, because I built this channel to share my creations to you guys, not only to the Sims community, but also to those who are interested in my videos, and in hopes to give you and your Sims joy and happiness. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are also enjoying it in your game, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye!